Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel. If you're new here, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss an update on your favorite Korean stars. Today's story is one of the most emotional and deeply moving we've ever covered. It's about Hyun, not as a top actor or a celebrity husband, but as a father. Behind the cameras, behind the fame, lies a heartbreaking truth he kept hidden for so long, until now. In this video, we'll reveal the secret that brought Hyun to tears, a side of him the public has never seen before, and the emotional journey that left fans across the world in shock and in tears. Stay with us till the end. This isn't just a celebrity story. It's a story of love, fear, and the incredible strength of a father's heart. For years, Hyun has been admired not only for his stunning visuals and extraordinary acting talent, but also for the mystery and discipline that surround his private life. He is the epitome of the perfect leading man, stoic, composed, and seemingly untouchable. But behind the perfectly tailored suits and the calm demeanor lies a man who has carried a secret, one so personal and painful that it brought him to tears in a quiet, dimly lit room far away from the cameras and spotlight. That secret was finally revealed, and it wasn't about his career or fame. It was about his son. Few people knew that Hyun, the celebrated star of Crash Landing on You, had been living with an unspoken weight. He had always protected his personal life with ferocity, especially after marrying actress Son Ye-jin, his co-star and real-life love story that captivated the world. Together, they were seen as the golden couple of Korean entertainment. When news broke that they had become parents to a baby boy, fans across the globe rejoiced. But behind that joy, there was a truth Hyun had kept hidden even from those closest to him. The revelation came during a private interview with a close confidant, not meant for public ears but somehow leaked through whispers in the industry. Hyun had broken down. Tears had streamed down his face as he finally admitted what he had been hiding. His son, his flesh and blood, had been born with a rare condition. It was not life-threatening, but it would require years of care, patience, and emotional strength. For Hyun, who had always strived to be the strongest presence in a room, it was a reality he had struggled to accept. I wanted to protect him from the world, not because I was ashamed, never because of that, but because I was afraid. Afraid the world wouldn't understand, afraid the world would label him. He had carried the burden alone for months. Not even his management team knew the full story. While the world watched him smile on red carpets, attend press events, and promote dramas with charm and ease, inside he was falling apart. He would return home and sit beside his son's crib at night, silently watching him sleep, whispering apologies into the dark, tears wetting the corners of his eyes, as he questioned if he had failed as a father. The perfectionist actor, known for rehearsing scripts for hours and pushing himself beyond exhaustion for every role, suddenly found himself overwhelmed by a role he didn't know how to prepare for, being the father of a child who would face challenges from the very beginning. It wasn't the parenting books or the advice of fellow actors that helped him cope. It was the unconditional love he felt the first time he held his son in his arms. He looked up at me, and it was as if he was saying, "It's okay, Appa, I chose you." And in that moment, I swore I would never let fear define how I love him. But fear, as he admitted, was a hard beast to tame. There were moments he would look at other parents in the park, other children playing without a care in the world, and he'd feel a sharp pain in his chest. Will he ever feel normal? Will he be bullied? Will people call him different? These questions haunted him even as he smiled through television interviews and performed before cameras. When the news of the private confession slowly made its way into fan communities, the reaction was instant and emotional. Fans who had admired Hyun for years were suddenly faced with a more fragile, deeply human version of their hero. The message boards filled with messages of love, support, and admiration, not for his acting, but for his vulnerability. many shared their own stories of parenting children with differences, creating a wave of empathy that transcended borders and languages. But the confession wasn't just about his son's condition. It was also about Hyunbin's own reckoning with fatherhood. He admitted to moments of guilt, moments of anger at himself for not being able to fix things, and moments of despair where he questioned his worthiness as a parent. I kept asking myself if the universe gave me this challenge because I was too used to being in control. Maybe it was to teach me humility. Or maybe it was to teach me what love really is. In the midst of his struggle, it was Son Ye-jin who became his anchor. Her strength, her calm, and her unwavering belief in their son's future helped him find the courage to face the reality they were given. Together, they chose not to publicize their situation, not out of shame, but out of the desire to protect their child's peace. He is not a story. He is not a headline. He is our son, our world, Hyunbin had stated.
As the weeks passed after the quiet leak of Hyun Bin's private confession, the media surprisingly held back. There was no aggressive paparazzi swarm, no tabloids running invasive headlines. Perhaps even the most relentless journalists knew that this was not a scandal. It was a story too human, too sacred to exploit. Fans, on the other hand, mobilized in silence. Tributes were posted on online communities, artwork of Hyunbin cradling a child circulated on fan sites, and messages written in countless languages flooded his fan mail channels. One Korean mother wrote, "You gave me the courage to stop hiding my child's condition. Thank you for standing in truth." Hyun Bin, true to his nature, remained silent in public. But those close to him revealed that something in him had changed. He was no longer trying to hide his tears. On set, he was still the consummate professional, but he smiled more gently, lingered longer during scenes involving children, and often retreated quietly to his van after emotional takes. One crew member from a recent film project said, "He doesn't say much, but when he looks at you, it's like he sees through every mask." Insiders also revealed that Hyun Bin had adjusted his schedule significantly since the birth of his son. Unlike his earlier years, marked by back-to-back drama shoots, press tours, and film roles across borders, he now limits his projects to ensure he's present at home. He reportedly turned down several major roles, including a Hollywood script, choosing instead to stay in Seoul. "No role is worth missing my son's milestones," he told a trusted friend. "If he says Appa or takes his first step, I want to be there, not reading about it in a text." The decision shocked even some of his colleagues. To give up global opportunities for something so intimate and so far from the spotlight was almost unheard of in the entertainment industry. But Hyun Bin, now a father, no longer measured success by box office numbers or award nominations. His success was hearing his son laugh. His reward was seeing his child fall asleep in his arms. As his son grew older, so did Hyun Bin's confidence in his role as a parent. He and Son Ye-jin took turns attending therapy sessions to better understand their child's unique needs. They met with specialists, educators, and other parents navigating similar paths. But above all, they made one unshakable vow. Their son would never feel like he was less than. He would grow up surrounded by unconditional love. One evening when Hyun Bin was reading a bedtime story, his son, still small and sleepy, reached up, touched his father's